Okay, it is still my distinct pleasure to call the meeting of your Hanover Borough Council for the month of April in the year 2025 to order. I request that we all stand, and the flag is now over here, as I notice, to recite our Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll follow that with a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and please be seated. Secretary Felix, shall we call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Bubb? Mr. Fuentes?
Here.
Mrs. Funk?
Here.
Mrs. Greenholt?
Here.
Mr. Hegberg?
Here.
Mr. Kress?
Here.
Mr. Lookenbill?
Here.
Mr. Ricart?
Here.
Mr. Rowland?
Here.
Dr. Rupp?
Here.
Solicitor Schultes?
Here.
Mayor Whitman? Here. Manager Lewis?
Here.
Secretary Felix? Junior Counsel Cronister? Junior Counsel Day. We have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, we'll make acknowledgement of executive session held this evening. I'll let the solicitor read that for the record.
Council met this evening from 6:45 to 7 o'clock p.m. In executive session to discuss library operations under Section 708A1 and 5 of the Sunshine Act.
Thank you. This time we have a statement by Manager Lewis.
Thank you. As we move into this new, renewed downtown building, I'd like to tell you about the dedicated public servants that have brought you to this point. Individually, each one of these professionals would be an asset to any organization. Together, they make an unstoppable team. In no particular order, Eric Maines serves as your borough engineer and the director of the Planning and Engineering Department. Eric has accepted every challenge over the past few years without complaint, from taking on responsibilities for the water department to updating our zoning ordinances and collaborating with our architects on vital building projects. His unwavering dedication ensures our community remains resistant and sustainable. Dorothy Felix, our borough secretary, has dedicated over 40 years to her life to this borough. Her extensive knowledge and history are unmatched, making her a valuable resource to me over the past 2.5 years. Dory's patience and understanding, coupled with her steadfast commitment, provide continuity and wisdom that guide our operations. Matt Perkins, the newest member of our team, epitomizes the go-getter spirit. As the head of the newly created Department of Parks and Recreation, he has not shied away from challenges, taking the initiative to oversee the market house and library, while leading the effort to craft a master site plan for our watershed properties, which will ensure the properties continue to be an asset for our grandchildren and beyond. His leadership, particularly at the library, has significantly improved building maintenance and staff morale and development. Jim Shelton. Jim joined our staff about 3 years ago and immediately focused on modernizing our bookkeeping system, bringing borough finances into the 21st century. Jim is the poster child for fiscal responsibility, ensuring public funds are used wisely and judiciously. AJ Grimm. Where do I start? AJ leads our Public Works Division, the largest staff department. He is ever present, an amazing leader for the young people he trains into the competent and caring staff who serve our residents. The depth and breadth of his knowledge, unmatched. The manner of his imparting this knowledge, humbling. AJ truly embodies the ideal community servant. Valerie Myers. Our communications manager operates as a department of one, yet her omnipresence keeps our messaging precise and the public informed. Her diligence ensures that the community remains connected and aware. Chad and Arnold and Tony Thomas. I'm sorry I coupled you folks together, but really, you are a team. They both stepped up to the plate last year to co-lead our Water Resources Division, with Chad as our Director of Utilities Operations and Tony as the Director of Water and Wastewater Treatment. Together, they have improved our efficiencies, maintained excellent customer service, and are simultaneously developing and implementing long-term facility and infrastructure maintenance plans. Amy Hill. Amy exemplifies the phrase stepping up to the plate. From her start as a payroll clerk to her current role as assistant borough manager, she has embraced every challenge. Her adaptability and willingness to take on various responsibilities show her dedication to our mission. Chris Miller, Chief Code Enforcement Officer, and Chad Martin, Police Chief, further strengthen our team. Chris began as codes officer under the engineering department 4 years ago. With a firm but compassionate approach to enforcement, Chris and his officers are working to clean up the areas of the borough that seem neglected while helping to find resources for individuals who cannot afford the improvements necessary to make their properties safe and clean. Chad, who rose through the ranks of the police department, emphasizes community policing to keep our borough safe. As a united team of amazing professionals, this staff stays late, comes in early, willingly works weekends to ensure the smooth operations of the borough. Most of them give vacation time back at the end of the year. I'm not happy about that, but most of them do, unable to use their benefits due to their dedication. In conclusion, we have assembled an unparalleled team that exemplifies teamwork and group effort. As staff, we prioritize ethical decisions, remain committed to our most important projects. Together, we serve the Hanover Borough community with integrity and determination, ensuring a thriving and sustainable future for all of you and all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Manager Lewis. Well said. At this time, I will open us up for the first public comment period. I have one pre-submission, that being by Mr. Holt. We now have a new podium instead of a table, so you're welcome to address council.
Thank you, Mr. President. Robert Holt from the 3rd Ward. I'm looking at the agenda, and I'm already disappointed before the vote because in the specs for the building project at 44 Frederick, the same thing was done as with this building, and that is you went ahead and told the bidders how much you're willing to spend, $7.3 million. And I was like, what's the use of having the bids? Why not just have guys show up and you just pick one? It just defies logic that you would tell people in a competitive process that how much you're willing to spend for a project. I don't think business people do that. I don't do that. Just defies logic. And it's just, I don't know how we got here. I don't think a lot of people know how we got here tonight to this building. It's just the money is commingled. It's interesting accounting, but I mean it's legal, but it's not hard to, it's not easy for us to understand. And I just think you had $7.5 million over 2 years in 21 and 22 dispersed. You used $2.5 million for police and public services, and then you sat on the next $5 million until we get here, and then it was a rush job to spend this. And I just don't understand it. Thank you.
Okay, this some parts of the process are the same, some are new. Community media, is there anyone online wishing? Okay. I will close the first public comment portion of the meeting and move us into an oath of office. We have Mayor Whitman, and I believe we have Mr. Alan Redding.
So we were talking about longevity. What did you tell me? You have 35 years from Mr. Redding with the borough. Okay, so with that, raise your right hand and please repeat after me. I, Alan Redding, do solemnly swear
I, Alan Redding, do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will not
and that I will not
knowingly receive,
knowingly,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money
any money
or other valuable thing
or other valuable things
for the performance
for the performance
or non-performance
or non-performance
of any active duty
of any act of duty
pertaining to my office,
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation
other than the compensation
afforded by law.
afforded by law.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
discharge my duty
discharge my duty
as a code enforcement officer
as a code enforcement officer
for the Borough of
for
Hanover
the Borough of Hanover
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
as long as
as
I am an employee
I am an employee
of the Borough of Hanover,
of the Borough of Hanover,
York County,
York County,
in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
She wants to get a picture. And then we have some people.
There you go. Look at me. Hang on, one more. Sorry. Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah.
So one, because they had to get one for registration stuff.
I don't think he needs them.
I guess I should say welcome on board again. Is that
Welcome back.
welcome? Yeah. Okay, at this time we need to move into the consent agenda. I'll start by asking council if there are any items that they would like removed at this time for specific discussion. And I'm going to start a tendency of looking to my left for the answer to that question first. Seeing none, I will now look to my right to see if there's anyone wishing to remove something from the consent agenda.
Can you see me this far?
I can see you, yeah. Seeing none, I will ask for a motion for council's consideration of the consent agenda. I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of approval of the consent agenda signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Turning to page 2, for those of you following along, will be item 6, Department of Water Resources, and I believe Councilor Kress is going to ask for that.
Okay. 6.01, approve resolution number 1437 for submission of PA Small Water and Sewer Program grant application for a pump and equipment modernization project.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of consideration 601 signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. We'll move into agenda item 7, that being Finance, Personnel, and Administration. Councilor Kress, you're still up.
Thank you, Bill. 7.01, ratify change order for 33 Frederick Street, Public Administration Project A, change order number 45 in the amount of $891 for additional solid surface countertop in the community kitchen.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask all those in favor to signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'll ask any opposed to say nay. And I'll tell you the motion has carried. Mr. Kress?
7.02, approve a certification of substantial completion for 33 Frederick Street.
I'll second that.
Go ahead.
Seems like we have number of seconds. I'll just call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed, nay? Motion carries. At this time, agenda item 8 is additional public comment. I have Mr. Holt, who would like to speak again to council. There you are. Please come forward, sir.
Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. President. I brought it up at last month's meeting, and I'm going to ask again for an assurance that borough employees are going to be reminded that they can't engage in partisan politics use as an official capacity as a borough employee or department director, and they're not allowed to use borough resources and do things on borough's time to support a candidate, which Matt Perkins has done. He used the imprimatur of his position as Parks and Recreation Director, and
Mr. Holt, please try as best you can to keep it brand neutral, without names.
okay, he didn't endorse Mr. Fuentes. He endorsed another candidate who isn't on the ballot, and it just seems like it's not fair, and people are interfering in the election process, and we should have a fair and open election without interference of borough employees. And I'm going to bring up again the open container law, that we were promised that it was going to be some discussion, but all it seems to have been an airing of the businesses' positions, but none of the discussion about the concerns or issues that brought this all to the forefront of public attention. And I just feel like the governance committee that has this issue, and I can't understand that, why it's not in front of the public work or the public safety committee, but they're running the clock until the primary elections are over, and then it's pretty much decided, and you can do whatever you want. You don't have to worry about it. And I think you should take some time to really examine that issue. We need an open container law, sir. Thank you.
Okay, that'll conclude public comment from in the room. I'm sorry, did you give me a paper ahead of time?
I didn't know I was supposed to. I just thought it was
Oh.
open comment.
Okay,
Okay.
come forward.
All right. Thank you.
We'll need your name and address, please.
Okay. I want to thank council members.
Your name and address, sorry, first.
First, Kathy Richards.
Okay,
Address is 1107 Roosevelt Court, Hanover.
okay.
I'm going to get my name in a second. So thank you, council members, Madam Mayor, for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. As I said, my name is Kathy Adams, KA7SMI. I'm a member of the Penmar Radio Club. We're a group of FCC licensed amateur radio operators here in the Hanover area. We use our radios to talk to other operators in Pennsylvania and Maryland, around the country and actually around the world. Our group has members that provide emergency communications at the Hanover Hospital, as well as members that work with the York County EOC, or Emergency Operations Center. And hopefully, we can work towards working with the Borough of Hanover EOC for emergency disaster and communication failures. The reason I'm here tonight is to invite all of you to stop by this year's Penmar Radio Club Field Day, which will be held at the Cadora State Park, Pavilion 2, on June 28th and 29th. Field Day is a 27-hour nationwide event where amateur radio operators invite the public to see how we can and do serve in emergencies. Amateur radio operators, as we like to call ourselves hams, have a long history of providing emergency communication support in disasters and post-disaster situations. During Field Day, hams practice and demonstrate emergency radio communication skills by setting up and operating using alternate power, like solar, battery, and generators. We deploy antennas and utilize our radios to talk around the country. This year, we'll also have an information desk set up and would welcome the chance for you and the public to see what amateur radio is and what hams operating in Hanover can and are doing daily and in emergencies. When you come out, if you would like to, you can actually use a radio with an operator's help and make a contact from someone in the country. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And if not, I want to thank you for the opportunity tonight and invite all of you and the public to come out and stop by Pavilion 2 at Cadora State Park. Check out this year's Penmar Radio Club Field Day event that starts 2 p.m. on Saturday, the 28th, through 5 p.m. on Sunday, the 29th. Thank you.
Okay. Community media, is there anyone following us electronically that would like to address council? Seeing none, I will close public comment. And do we have any announcements? Okay, with that, I will request a motion to adjourn.
So motion.
Second?
Seconded.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? We adjourn. Thank you. See you next month.